Hello, and welcome to episode 113 of WrestleRotica, the podcast that combines wrestling with erotica. This week we have two stories to share with you. The first story is entitled Battle of the Booty Part 2. In this story, Alexa Bliss remains humiliated after the locker room continues to talk about her and how she was embarrassed by Naomi. As the whispers spread through the locker room, Nikki Bella thinks she too can take advantage of Alexa, but Alexa quickly turns the tables on her. The second story is entitled Stormy Days. Mae Young Classic competitor Toni Storm is joined on the beach for fun and relaxation by WWE superstar Jason Jordan. The two of them then proceed to have a fantastic time, or that is until Emma snaps Jordan out of his daydreams and tries to focus the attention onto her. Without further ado, let's get to this week's stories. This story is entitled Battle of the Booty Part 2 by WoW FM member Mr. Firebug. It's been a couple of days since Alexa was left covered in cum in the showers by Naomi. She was still livid at thought and has been contemplating of how to exact revenge on her. But what she didn't anticipate was Naomi boasting about her conquest to the other women in the locker room. As Alexa was helping create the ring, she heard numerous whispers behind her back. And got lustful stares from the technicians. She knew people looked at her like that, but not right to her face. Alexa storms backstage to confront Naomi once and for all, but is halted by another beauty, Nikki Bella.
You can look, but you can't touch. You keep dreaming on the stars above.
Alexa scoffs. Get out of my way! Nikki doesn't move. She just stands there with her arms crossed, pouting slightly, sweaty from the match she just had. Nikki, best change your tone there, short stuff. Everyone knows how easy you are. Alexa stares up at Nikki, her piercing eyes yelling, I'm not in the mood for this! Alexa, Naomi may have screwed my career. If this gets out to the higher-ups, I'm done. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got a bitch to talk to. Nikki moves in front of Alexa, not allowing her to pass, and giggles, arms still crossed, pushing her tits up more. Nikki, sultry tone. No! You've got an ass to eat!
I want to munch! Squad! I want to munch!
I heard from a reliable source that you're really, really good. As Alexa stands there thinking about what to do, she gets an idea that may win her back some dignity, and maybe even respect among the women of the locker room. Alexa, fake submission. Oh, okay. Let's go, Nikki. Nikki falls for it and laughs, taking Alexa's hand and walking her to the Nikki's personal tour bus. Nikki opens the doors and hops on, her tits and ass jiggling with every movement. Alexa follows slowly, acting sheepish and shy like she had with Naomi in the beginning. They sit on the couch inside. Nikki starts to slowly stroke Alexa's inner thigh with a seductive stare. Nikki, dominative. Now you're going to do everything I tell you to. Okay, baby? Alexa, fake submission. Yes, ma'am. Nikki, giddy. Good girl. Now open your mouth and show me that slutty tongue. Alexa obeys by spinning her mouth wide and slowly licking her tongue out, allowing dribble to fall onto her thighs. Nikki, horny. Oh yeah, baby! Your ring attire always makes me moist!
How deliciously moist.
Nikki leans back, staring at Alexa. She slips her hand into her short shorts and rubs slowly, closing her eyes in a moment of euphoria. Alexa takes this moment to peel her ring shorts down, stands up on the couch, and squats over Nikki's face. Nikki confused. What the fuck? Alexa cuts Nikki off by sitting down on her face and wiggling her ass around. Alexa, proud of herself. Yeah, Nikki, let me feel your whore mouth. Nikki goes from struggling to moaning. as her hands rubs Alexa's side and obeys by suckling Alexis's sweaty asshole. Alexa moans and sits on Nikki's face, allowing her to get deeper. Alexa moaning, "Fuck! Now I know how good that fucking feels!" Nikki muffled, "Yes, ma'am!" Alexa starts to bounce on Nikki's face. After a few seconds, she hops off and strips entirely, revealing her 34C cup tits and her trimmed cunt. Seductively staring at Nikki's tits, she licks her lips and pulls it over her head. Alexa then begins to motorboat Nikki's giant tits. Nikki, surprised. "Oh my fuck!" Nikki continues to rub her own shaven, smooth pussy underneath her ring shorts. She stops and reaches forward to rub Alexis's jiggly ass cheeks. Alexa starts to kiss down Nikki's chest, then stomach, before reaching her sweaty mound covered by shorts. Alexa places a small kiss on the front of the shorts. She looks up and smirks as she starts to peel them down Nikki's thighs. Nikki moans at the air, then moans even louder when Alexa traces her tongue down the busty Bella slit. Nikki naturally bucks her hips forward, causing Alexa to jiggle and licks harder. Alexa, we're gonna have some fun! Alexa places herself between Nikki's legs, so they're in the trimming position. Nikki starts them off by humping Alexis's cunt with her own, and she responds by pushing back against Nikki. As they start to find the rhythm, staring into each other's eyes, Alexa gets touchy with Nikki's tits, groping them, molesting them as they grind their pussies together. Their moans echoing throughout the bus.
The moans on the bus go round and round. The moans on the bus go round and round. Round and round. Round and round. The moans on the bus go round and round.
Nikki, motherfucker! Alexa, you like that slut? You like our cunts together? Nikki can only bite her bottom lip and moan through gritted teeth as she's sent over the edge. Alexis's moans get louder and louder with each passing second. Alexa stops, then straddles Nikki's face, humping her lips. Alexa, I'm fucking coming! Alexa bucks her pussy against Nikki's mouth, making her part her lips slightly. Alexa then begins squirting cum down Nikki's throat, her knees shaking, her voice trembling. Alexa, now you tell the girls that! Alexa passionately kisses Nikki on the lips, tasting her own juices before getting dressed, smacking her own ass, and then strutting off. Leaving Nikki in the same position she was left in mere days ago. The end. This story is entitled Stormy Days, and it was written by Rolodex. Yeah, no, this is a huge donger. It's fucking medium massive. Look at this shit. God damn. The young blonde is quite giddy as she strokes on the thick cock, arrowing straight towards her nasal bridge, as in the space right between her eyes. This shit is thicker than a tinny of Foster's.
Beer. Foster's, Australian for beer.
Blurts out the beautiful maiden in her sexy accent that gives away the fact that she's from a land down under. The gorgeous gal has her knees shoveled into the endless bed of white sand. As turquoise waves crash against a red-hot sun, the exquisite, golden-haired hottie hoists a rotund black monstrosity firmly within her grip. Her punk-style shades lean against the top of her forehead as her red and black bikini top rests against the countless warm beads of sand. Her bare, scrumptious chest and hard nipples make for quite the visual for the lucky man deep in her digits. Though she will be a contestant in the Mae Young Classic, her mind isn't on the trophy at all. Instead, her focus is on removing the distracting swimming trunks that her male friend is wearing. With her free hand, the luscious competitor yanks down her partner's shorts, causing them to tumble to the hot, inconsistent beach ground. With no more physical interruptions, the hot, young 21-year-old wraps both of her hands at the base of the thick, black stick before her. With complete control of the cocoa cock, the Australian revels in the sensation of guiding the Goliath-sized gland into her hot mouth. The sexy blonde wraps her succulent cherry lips around the robust head of the manhood as she sucks up the sweet flavor from the hearty slab of meat. The tournament participant excitedly extends her tongue, choosing to guide the bell end of the shaft toward the center of her mouth's main muscle. The topless babe circles the oversized rod against her warm oral opening, enjoying the firm sensation for a few rounds before engulfing with her mouth and stroking at the lengthy remainder. The sexy slurping sounds come to an end as the playful Aussie towers the schlong over her face. The hue of the black dick almost matches the line of the black under her right eye. The beauty's eyes widen to saucer-like proportions as she rests the mammoth against her facade, with the end of the snake extending past her forehead. The gorgeous Gold Coast native giggles as her chin becomes overwhelmed by her friend's ballsack. The blonde licks her plump lips before bringing forth an important question. Fuck me dead, Jason! Why is your cock so big? Like, what the fuck? It's bigger than my head! I guess it's my Olympic pedigree, Tony, says an enthusiastic Jason Jordan, referencing his newly found father figure.
So I'd like to introduce to you the newest member of Raw. My son, you may know him as Jason Jordan.
Speaking of angles, the Stardom slut takes just the right one as she slides her tongue along the underside of the 11.5-inch schlong before guiding the fat head right back into her warm, welcoming maw. As Storm gorges on the gargantuan gland, her chops make a glorious popping sound, while tilts her head back. She is clearly enjoying her tongue being wrapped around the big black cock and expresses as much, it's like a big fucking lolly. I love it. How many licks does it take to get to the center? The world may never know. A web of saliva connects Tony's mouth with Jason's cock, showcasing their level of friendship. Jason soon finds his 245-pound frame horizontal against the soft sand. He is soon joined by royalty as the punk princess straddles over his muscle-bound pelvic region. Her bikini bottoms having now joined the sandy gravel. The Progress women's champion squeezes upon one of her corpulent ass cheeks before slapping it to show off the jiggle that rains down toward her thick thigh. As she still hovers over her man, Tony uses one hand to hold her middle and ring fingers down with her thumb, while extending her index and pinky finger. The sign of the horns is heavy metal. But not as heavy as the cock she hoists with her opposite hand. The Auckland-born babe is awestruck as she directs the big dick into her slippery slot. Storm gasps as she feels the end of Jordan's cock beginning to disrupt her opening's walls. Rather than shy away from the monster, she slides further down upon it, using her grip on her round ass to maintain her balance. Tony gazes at Jordan before moaning out, "Ah! Shh! Oh, it's so big! Oh! Oh my God! That feels so good! You feel that, Jay? You feel that tight little pussy?" Jason nods and smiles as he is mesmerized by the perky breast of Toni Storm. The former AAW Women's Champion is all action as she leans forward, placing her palms against Jordan's muscular pectorals. The former tag champion clutches each portion of Tony's wonderful booty and aids her in Storm's mission to sling against the schlong. The Aussie bites her bottom lip in an attempt to contain her sounds, but fails as she hungrily yells, "Oh! Ah! I don't even think I have all that donger inside me yet! Oh my God! Ah! This is amazing! Not as amazing as the view, however, as Tony's spectacular ass bounces along the barrel of a cock with great ferocity. Jason squeezes the fat donk portions to maintain his grip as the blonde rocker is mercilessly grinding against the meat. The starlet rocks against the cock so furiously that her shades fly off of her and launch towards the blue water. Kurt's son focuses on the succulent chest of Tony as he feels the round mounds of ass slap against the sides of his cock with every bounce. The Aussie import's mouth is left wide open as she can no longer even attempt to contain her thrills. "Oh yes! Oh yes! Yes! Oh, wow! Oh, fuck! That fucking cock is so big! Yeah! No! Spank me! The former member of American Alpha does not hesitate as he winds up his palm and swats against the delicious bubble butt, further inspiring his new partner. Storm is ready, willing, and able to ride the black rod as she spirals up and down the mammoth. The punk loves her hunk of meat, maybe a bit too much, as she ascends too high and loses her pussy's grip of the cock. Although it is probably her fault, she immediately orders her mate to take action. Stick that fat fucking donger back in me! Jordan uses his inherited Olympic reaction right to his advantage, quickly plunging his fat dick back into the soaked slit. The now reddened ass cheeks look delightful as the 21-year-old leans her chest against Jason's, allowing for greater leverage. The sexy Storm can barely keep her eyes open as she enjoys the pummeling that her pussy has taken, but still wondering if there is more to offer as she asks, is the whole cock in there? Are you sure? Ah! It's so fucking big! Oh yeah! Fuck me! Just like that! The UK resident lowers her pace as she tapers off to shorter, more rapid strides along the chocolate schlong. The Cinderella tourney winner's blonde hair flows widely as she frantically fucks the stiff sausage, causing her monumental ass to jiggle in waves, just like the water before them. Storm digs her toes into the chiseled thighs of Jordan as she fanatically hops along the girthy beast. The thick prick jousts at her G-spot, causing the Aussie to mumble, as her body begins to swear at its built-up pressure. The sun-soaked slut squeezes one of her round bubbles before sinfully hollering, "Ah! You filled up fucking pussy! So good! Just like that! Oh my god! You're gonna make my pussy come! Oh! Don't fucking stop!" Before she can order Jordan not to stop, her juicy cunt offers a tribute of its creamy goodness to the black cock. As her slit continues to throb, Tony attempts to catch her breath. Though she is a bit winded, Storm's craving for cock has not concluded, as she mutters at Jason, "I'm ready to keep fucking rocking, babe!" "You're not done yet, right?" The numerous bracelets boasting the United Kingdom residents' fandom of various rock and roll bands and artists are on display as the punk princess works her caring hands all over Jordan's 11+ inch member. The naughty, cock-hungry bitch works her both sets of palms and fingers across the stiff pole as she leans toward the monster cock. The alluring Aussie has found a seat across the face of the Raw general manager's son. Jason can probably barely breathe, but it is unlikely that you'd catch him complaining to anyone, as he slowly runs his tongue across the fleshy pink lips of Tony's soft opening. Not only are you built like a brick shithouse, but you know how to gobble up pussy, exclaims a fascinated Storm. Pony works past the remarkable sensations buzzing through her body to focus on the task at hand. Or should I say, hands. With her mouth mere inches away from the meat mastodon, the luscious blonde uses the close proximity to her advantage, as she spits all over the schlong, while continuously stroking her DNA into the girthy Goliath. The New Zealand-born broad switches her tongue against the swollen head of Jordan, before sinking her lips across the entire crown of the cock, moving her mouth along the top of the chocolate hole. The adventurous Aussie releases her lips' grasp on the gland to recover oxygen before commenting, "Ah! So fucking good! Ah!" The latter giggles come from the intensified work rate of Jason's tongue as he blasts away at the pretty pink opening with his mouse motor. The former SmackDown drafty keeps Tony in tow by clasping his grasp on each portion of the Aussie's apple bottom. The Stardom fighter taunts her mate by popping her lips off of Jordan's cock, creating that sensual, popping sound again. The Gold Coast gal continues to tease by slowly looking all around the head of the thick shaft before filling her mouth with the long chocolate leviathan. Glack! Glack! are the sounds made by the top-tiered cocksucker as she wraps her delicious red lips around the intimidating cut of manhood. Toni runs her hands through hair, using some of the sticky bodily fluids as a makeshift gel to keep her hairdo from getting in the way. After a few more tongue strides across the entire length, the youngster wearing eye black decides to take initiative and slide toward the Raw. With her juicy moneymaker resting against Jordan's pelvic region, Storm slides the stick into her slit. Or at least, as much as she can. In fact, Toni struggles with the amount that she can handle, as she whorishly hollers, "Oh my god! Woo! Oh wow! Shit, that feels so nice!" The view isn't bad either, as the Illinois native sees the jiggle that such a derriere offers. The rock and roll fan doesn't need a drum to bang, or create music. She can do all that as she rides the schlong in a reverse cowgirl arrangement. Storm gives quite the air as she rides the king-size cock with a little help from her friend. The newest angle fills both of his hands with booty meat before using his handfuls to help guide Storm in her cock-riding adventure. Toni focuses on squeezing her delightful breast, enjoying the sensation as she slides up and down the shaft. The rhythm of pussy reckoning builds as Coco Cock gallops in and out of the Gold Coast cunt. The Aussie has her gullet wide open as she fanatically yells, "Ah! Aye! Fuck me good! Oh yes! It's gonna make my pussy come!" Toni loses focus on her tits as she rubs on the top of her clit. She'd rub the sensitive opening, but there is no room for her fingers as Jordan's cock fills her to capacity. "Oh! I'm going to come! Yes! 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 Oh! Ah! Ah! I'm fucking gushing!"
This podcast brought to you by Gushers.
Gushers fruit snacks, it'll blow you away.
I love that fucking dick, baby! Ah! The sternum slut slides off the man meat, which is now completely covered in white fluids, as a sweaty Toni stumbles to the sand, in deep need of a break. "I can't wait to feel all that big black donger inside my twat again. Fuck me like a rock star!" exclaims the blonde babe, as she looks and shows off her lovely pearly whites. It isn't long before the beauty finds herself back in sexual action. The Mae Young Classic competitor has dug all fours into the sand and arched up her incredible ass, ready to fill her bald clit to the commanding cock. The bloke, with his doodle in his hand, tickles the lips of Toni's clit before beginning to press it against the tight opening. The member of Raw grabs hold of the jiggly ass of Storm, using it for pull as he thrusts in and out of the tight cunt. The WWE bound babe couldn't be more excited as she yells, "Good on ya! Wow! You're bigger than a Brumby! Oh yes! It's so fucking good!" The Gold Coast whore's astonishing backside crashes against the tight pelvic region of her man as she digs her claws into the sand. Jordan grabs Toni by her thighs so he can see the pair of globes attached to the Aussie wobble with every piston. The punk rocker tilts her head to make eye contact with Jordan before purring out, "Oh! Oh my god! Yes! Right there! My pussy is so wet! Don't you fucking stop me! Ah!" The PWAQ champ continues to push toward the almost foot-long cock, feeling as it fills her up and wrecks her cock preferences from this day forward. The sound of skin slapping creates quite the beat as Toni's wonderful breasts flop up and down to the soundtrack. Just as she does in the squared circle, the Aussie begins to twerk, showing off her round mounts with every thrust. The twerking comes to a sudden end, though, as the Illinois star picks up the pace of his lunges. A look of astonishment overrides Toni's face as she is shocked at the grand amplitude that Jordan has shown her clit. Storm nibbles on her cherry red lips as she feels her inner thighs begin to tingle. The music that the pair are making soon has lead vocals as Toni roars with her mouth wide open. "Yes! Right there! Yeah! Oh, wow! Oh my god, right there! I'm coming! Ah! Oh, so good! Why is it so fucking big?" The former tag champ does not ponder the question, but instead increases the rapidity of his pounding. The Indiana graduate,
on your feet and celebrate your Hoosier pride,
is anything but diplomatic as he surges in and out of Storm's slippery opening. The juicy pink area of Toni pulsates as her pussy purges itself of orgasm juices. Jason continues to pump away, causing the pearly fluids to layer onto his cock. The first ever Progress Women's Champion inhales and exhales deeply as her sweaty body plummets from her floors to the welcoming sand. His oversized manhood still connected to the slit. Jordan smacks the ass that he just finished pounding, taking in the overwhelming splendor that comes from watching such an exuberant ass jiggle with such purpose. Although part of her face is buried in the sand, her contagious smile is still radiant as she lifts her hand to point the horns and signify her appreciation. Toni unapologetically shrieks, "Let's keep fucking rocking, mate!" The relentless Gold Coast gal is now back to a nil as she slobbers all over her boy toy's knob, brushing her tongue against his black beast. Storm savors her personal flavor as she scoops up her fuck juices that were glued to her buddy's cock. With the palm almost wrapped around the fat sausage, Toni tries her best to fit as much of the meat into her mouth as possible. To assist herself in her efforts, Storm slobbers all over the schlong, closes her eyes, tilts her head back, and ignores her gag reflex. Slap! Sharp! Slap! Give me that donger! Exclaims the blonde wonder. The sinful Aussie bobs her head in her consumption efforts, forced to exhale the cock for a few moments to catch her breath. Toni looks down on her chest and seems to be staying cool due to all the salvia that has poured onto her breast and tight stomach. Her cocksucking has her kept her cool for the summer, but the Stardom champ wants much more than to be cool. She wants to be fucked. Oh yeah! The Aussie slut leans back into the bed of sand, staring down her pussy's partner in crime with her bold, grayish-blue eyes and her sexy, red-trimmed smile. The former British Empire champion remains fervent on getting fucked, whereas many of her peers would have already called it a day. Not Toni, not ever. Instead, the spunky rocker spreads her legs to show off her thick thighs and shaven slit as she stares down the chocolate shaft making its way to her course. "Oh yeah, babe! Right there!" states the confident Storm as sand sticks to her body due to her sticky sweat. Jordan slides into the slippery cunt with a bit more ease as he presses inward to fill the contents of Toni's pouch. Jason underhooks his arms around the soft thighs of Storm as Toni latches onto his broad shoulders. The American shows the slit his alpha status as he thrashes in and out of the pussy, much to the delight of the Mae Young Classic competitor. Toni's body begins to quiver as she enjoys every throttle, staring down her mate with great intent as he tries to squeeze all of his cock inside of her. Ah! You're fucking poking at my stomach! This feels so fucking bonkers! Toni states as excess spit lands on her tight abdomen region. The sexy Aussie continues her carnal thoughts with, "Oh! It's so fucking deep! Yeah! Oh! Ah!" The UK resident lifts her legs and rests them against the former NXT competitor's torso as she attempts to accommodate more cock. The angle also allows for her partner to slam against the cushion that Storm's tremendously crafted thighs and globe-sized bundles of booty offer. The lusty Gaijin keeps her mouth open as she enjoys the thumping her pussy, and perhaps intestines are receding.
Ouch.
The pummeling continues at a breakneck pace as Jason continues to push in and out. Toni exhales and inhales sharply. The Stardom slut's eyes open and close continuously as her body reaches a level of ecstasy that can only be found through such an extraordinary fuck. The pounding of her pussy remains endless and brutal, but Toni wouldn't have it any other way. She says as much with erotic demands and barely open eyes. "Shit! Yeah! So deep! Oh my god! Oh! Don't you fucking stop! Oh my god! I'm gonna come! I'm coming! Your cock is so fucking huge! Fucking wanker! Storm collapses against the beach, now physically exhausted. Though Toni Storm has had wars with many of the top talents from around the world, she may have met her match on this sunny afternoon. Though the son of Kurt Angle offers no trophies or title belts in this contest, she still battles for her reward. It is now Jordan who has his back pinned against the sand, as Toni, with her dark strip of eye black and cherry red lips, hover over the long schlong that remains standing tall. Wrapping her enviable lips around the head of the mammoth, Toni strokes the rod with both hands, pumping away for her treat. Like a volcano that has been in hibernation for too long, Jason finally erupts, sending an explosion of his legendary pedigree into Toni's chops. Storm continues to slurp on the big black cock, making certain that she captures gush after gush of Jason's cum. The Aussie's mouth is filled past capacity quite quickly, forcing Storm to allow some of the population pudding to dribble down her chin and run toward her chest. In a single swift gulp, the Gold Coast slut shows off a face of satisfaction as she cleans off any remaining baby batter off the tip of Jordan's cum. Now more than content, Toni exclaims, "Ha ha ha ha! Oh my god! Holy fuck! Oh my god, Jordan! Fuck! Oh my god, Jordan! You come so fucking much! Mmm." As Toni continues to make out with the big dick, she leaves him with one last thought. You let your dad, the Hardys, Gable, and everyone else know. You tell them straight up that I run this bitch. Tell them, Jordan. 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 Are you listening to me? No! Hey! Quit daydreaming. What are you even looking... Oh, states a frustrated Emma, who is currently in a silky smooth, yellow robe decorated with red and green floral designs. The robe is left wide open, allowing for any lucky viewer to see all of Emma's immaculate body. The Aussie's incredible bust is held high by a pinkish red bikini top. Her toned abs would make any of her 1.23 million Twitter followers jealous. Though she has quite the following on social media, right now she is struggling for the attention of one particular individual. The current role starlet snaps her fingers to wake Jason Jordan from his daze. Though the male athlete's eyes were open, he clearly was dreaming of being elsewhere. The duo have a spectacular view from the room in Azulec Hotel in Mexico. The Raw brand is promoting their upcoming fall tour of the country, and they've brought along a few of their Mae Young classic competitors to help promote that endeavor as well. Down below at the beach are some of the wonderful women entering the tournament. Why, all are beautiful in their own ways. It is the Stardom Queen who has Jordan swimming. Hey, wanker! You need to listen to me. You need to tell your dad that he needs to give me a chance. Give Emma a chance that's trended worldwide. If he doesn't pull the trigger on me and give me the opportunity I deserve, who knows? Maybe Shane will. And then what'll happen? Stephanie will fire him, and you'd end up collateral damage. Honestly, it is in your best interest. Emma leans in toward her roommate, being suggestive as she accentuates her cleavage and puts it at eye level with the seated Raw athlete. Maybe you can take me on a date. Get to know me better. Mexico is a beautiful country, you know. Or we could just stay in. I could definitely make it worth your while. The Baronian-born babe suggestively states, while Jordan enjoys the view and the potential sexual prospects, he instead chooses to prop up to his feet and stand closer to the hotel room's end. He gazes downward and sees Toni Storm in her black and red bikini, splashing away in the turquoise waters. The eye black, the cherry red lips, the spunky attitude, the incredible ass. It's all there, just like he imagined it. That sounds nice and all, Emma, but I really gotta go. Dad just texted me. We're gonna go play some catch, states an excited Jordan as he searches for the room's exit. Fuck! I'm never getting a chance, pouts Emma to herself as she sits on the bed in frustration. The end. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of WrestleRotica. If you enjoyed this week's stories, please be sure to like, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Visit us elsewhere online, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and as always, our official website, WrestleRoticapod.com. Thank you and have a good week.